Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to my channel. I'm Erica, and I am going to take a break from a few of the projects that I've been working on for me and make a dress for my daughter. So Easter is coming up, and I wasn't really planning on making anything. I have made my kids Easter outfits before, but it's just I haven't had time, and there's a lot more of them than there was the last time I did this. So I think the last time I made Easter outfits for all my kids that were coordinating were when I still only had 3. And since the twins have come along, that's just a little bit more challenging. And my oldest 2 are kind of, well, my oldest son, he's in high school, so he's not particularly keen on matching his siblings at the moment. So I just haven't. But my daughter has been begging for another dress. She's outgrown a lot of her summer dresses that she went through last year, and she wants a few more. So I have this lovely lavender eyelet fabric. So that's the bottom hem, and I'm going to use that as the bottom. It goes all the way up to the top. And what I'm thinking for this is just a basic elasticated top where that will create the gathers for the rest of the skirt. She really wants it long. She loves long ones. And then just do like some ties for the shoulders. My inspiration from this came from Janelle at Rosary Apparel, who I have been following for a while. And I will probably try to put in a picture somewhere here of the dress she made recently with her for herself that's like this. I'm obviously not going to do it exactly how she did hers because she made hers for herself and I'm making mine for my teenage daughter. So there's a little bit of difference, but that's going to be my inspiration, and I love how Janelle's turned out, and this is just going to be lovely. And I need to take a break from mine and do something for her right now because in a little bit of rawness, you may notice that I really got ready for this video, which I don't normally do. Makeup and hair and jewelry, because I'm struggling today. So I don't typically talk about too much of my past on this channel, and I had originally did a second channel talk about my childhood in which my parents were ABUSIVE, and I'm still, like, this channel is my happy place and my fun place, and I took that channel down because I just wasn't emotionally ready for that, but it's going to come up. It's going to come up every once in a while, and I can't escape it in that is my reality. I still have to deal with trauma and the triggers on a daily basis, and for some reason, for the last few days, I've been in a trauma depression spiral, and I desperately need to do something to work on pulling myself out of it. And I am supposed to go volunteer at my son's high school today to help with lunch coverage, and I almost called out but I need to get myself out of the house, so I'm going to make myself go. So I don't have very long to work on this. I'm going to get as far as I can, but this just makes me so happy, and it makes my daughter so happy. So I got ready in a way to attempt, and but I originally used to leave all of it off of this channel because I was like, this is my happy sewing channel, and it is, but I also want to be very real and honest, and there's a reason I named this channel Sewing is Therapy, because it has been that for me. I obviously see a trauma therapist and have for a very long time, but sewing is something that has really, really helped me through a lot of places like this. And I don't know, like, I've been feeling a lot more of a push to, not a push that I don't want, but I've known for a long time that in some capacity I'm going to use my story to help other people who may have gone through something similar. I've really never been able to find anybody telling their story that is 100% similar to mine, because mine is just so crazy and weird. And, you know, I grew up in a cult, and the cult was the A word, and then my parents were the A word. And so anyway, this isn't a feel sorry for me, but if you can relate in any way to getting into this place, it's not a fun place to be. It's a very dark place to be in your mind, and you can't stay there. So you're not alone, and we're going to turn this into a happy video where I work my way out of it. I just wanted to be real and honest, and felt like I needed to share that. So anyway, that's all I'm gonna say about that for now, but I want to hop into making this adorable dress for my daughter. First things first though, I need to go find a lining that I'm happy with, because I don't have enough of this, and I don't want to use this as a lining itself because I don't want to waste the beautifulness of it. I don't know how much is here. Thrift store find as the theme of this channel. So I'm gonna go see if I have either a white or cream or a light purple fabric that I can use for a lining, and then we will jump into the measurements. Okay, so I've written her measurements down here. I took her measurements about in 4 places where I wanted to put the elastic channels for the top part. And what I did here is the length of the fabric from selvage to the bottom, just up and down, is literally the perfect length for her height-wise. So I'm just going to use that top selvage edge, probably turn it, well, I'll still sew it to the lining, so you still won't see it because it will be, I will sew them right sides together and then turn them, so that'll form a top seam there. So you won't see the selvage, but it saves me from, I don't know, not much. It doesn't really save me from much, to be honest. But this is, I had exactly 4 yards of this. I don't need that much for her, so I cut it in half at 2 yards, which is, sprayed pins everywhere, which is a little over double her biggest measurement. So I feel like that will give us a good amount of gather. And so I showed it, and I'm going to go in there and show you in a minute. I've got some water boiling. The fabric I decided to use for the lining is a linen. Now, you saw it looking yellow. I'm going to see if I can show you this here. It's gone through its first rendition of color removal, but if you see this salmon colored roll here and also down there of my fabric, I found this in one whole roll at a thrift store a couple of years ago. It was $20 for the whole roll. But the roll it was on was broken, so I ended up having to unroll it anyway to get it home, because the cardboard roll wouldn't fit in our van because we were on a trip. And so I had to unroll it all to fold it. And there was at least 50 yards of it, so for $20 it was definitely worth that, except that I can't use 50 yards of salmon colored linen. I mean, it's not a horrible color, but I knew it was linen, which meant I knew it was dyeable, and I knew I could get color removal, and I've done a smaller sample of it to make sure it would work, and then this big section that you saw me cutting the lining out of has been through the first iteration of it, but I didn't have enough color removal to completely get it to cream, which is what I'm trying to do. So for this section here, this is where I was able to get it in a washing machine setting because I didn't have a stainless steel pot big enough for the cut that I was trying to do, because I didn't want to cut it into itty bitty sections just to continue dyeing it, so I was trying to do a larger cut of it, which I think was 4 yards total, and I cut 2 yards off of that 4, so cut that in half as well. And either that or it was 6 yards. Anyway, through the wash machine, it got it down to this color. I found one more package of the Rit color remover in my laundry room that I forgot I had, because I'm trying to do this without having to go to the store. So I don't know if it'll be enough for the 2 yards. We're going to give it a go. However, we just came back from another trip with my in-laws, in which my husband and I did have a day where we were able to check out some of the thrift stores. And voila! I finally, after a very long time of working to locate a large stainless steel pot for this purpose, found one. It was a little bit pricier than I normally pay at thrift stores. It was $35, but we felt that that was well worth it. So it's huge, and I have water boiling on the stove, and I might just have to stop and come back and finish it later, because if you'll see that clock, it is 10:45, and I am supposed to be at my son's school by 11:30, so I'm not even sure it's going to boil before I need to leave. So I might just have to turn the stove off and come back to this afternoon. But I'm gonna attempt it and we'll see. Okay, this is turning into a little bit more of a thing than I was thinking it was, but I'm okay with that. So here's the color it originally was. This is the rest of the cut that I had already put through the color removal once, and this is a piece off of the new stuff. So you can tell a difference. There's definitely not yellow and cream, but I had a thought, and I'm willing to do it with the cream. I think it looks fine. However, I found this. So one of our thrift stores got just a whole bunch of these, and they were selling them like 4 for $1. And so I got a lot of them. I have 3 colors, like goldfish orange, the violet, and the turquoise. And one of these isn't enough by itself with the cut of fabric that I'm using for the dress, because this isn't what I'm using for the dress. This is what I cut off of it. But I'm thinking that I'm not really going for the intense violet right there. I'm going more for, you know, the light purple. So I'm thinking if I just use one and do this process with that fabric, it'll maybe be violet, not violet, I just said not. Maybe be closer to the lavender, which I think would look even better under this. So this one does not require boiling on the stove. It's just in the sink with salt added to the water and warm water. So I'm gonna go try this and I will report back the results. Okay, I would say this is a success. Look at that. It's so perfect. I'm so happy. So, but for reference, I pulled all this out. So, as a reminder, this is what this fabric started as. And then this was the first color removal process. this is the second, and then this is with the dye. And I am so happy. For one, because like I said, I have so much of this. And I just can't use, this is not even my favorite pink. If I wanted pink, I needed bright pink. Anyway, so obviously color remover would add up price-wise. So it's not something I can just like go all in right now and dye the whole thing. But, and this was with half of the recommended purple dye for half the recommended time in the dye bath. But I did that on purpose because I didn't want that deep dark purple. I wanted exactly what I got. I'm so happy. So we have a identically, in my opinion, like I can't, it is so close. But yeah, so the lining is perfect. I'm out of time today to work on it, but I will pick back up tomorrow. Alright, so I have ironed both pieces out, and oh man, I just can't get over how that, it is slightly different, but so close and perfect for a lining. And I have evenly trimmed the edges, laid them with, I mean, the linen doesn't really have a right and wrong side, but this does. So I put the right side, the pretty side, towards this one, because what I have also done is pinned the top, and the first thing I'm going to go to do is sew this whole top edge together. And one thing I was able to do with the linen is the hem for the underdress part is the selvage, so I don't even have to hem this. You can tell it got curled up and there's still a little white there. Oh, and before I sew the seam, I drew this up. So in case, I don't know, my daughter, she's 13. She is roughly a small missus or women size. So these are the measurements I have for her. It is 73 inches this way. The under dress is 32 inches, and then the dress itself is 43. Okay, so this is going pretty quick. I've got the two pieces sewn together and press the seam out. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to still right sides together again. Sew all the way down the long seam. So this is going to be the top edge of the dress. This is basically going to be the center back here. And I'm going to go all the way down both fabrics, and then I'll understitch the lining portion all the way around, and then it should turn into a tube. Alright, so I have my large tube all the way, so this is going to be the top edge here, and yep, so hemline, the underskirt goes to right there. So I think that is a good length for that. So the next thing is to start measuring out and marking where I want the casings for the elastics. I have her measurements over there, and I also need to change out the thread on my machine, because to assemble this I just used the white that I already had in there, but since this is going to go on top, I don't want to use white. I want to use purple because I know I have some. Yeah, I'm excited. This is going to be really cute. And let me go start marking. Alright, so I have lavender thread in the machine, and I marked the 5 casing lines, and then I made each casing 1/2 inch wide, and then put 1.5 inches in between the casings. The next thing is just to go spend quite a while at the machine sewing all 10 of these lines all the way around the whole tube, leaving just a small section knot sewn so that I can weave the elastics in. Alright, all chalk lines are stitched. A lot of stitching. Here is my channel that I left open to thread elastic through, and once the elastic's through, I will go close that stitching up. Okay, so I don't remember currently where I left off on the filming of my daughter's Easter dress, but it's done. After I got the elastics in, I closed up all the channels, and then I just made 4 little straps out of the linen that I had dyed, and for that all I did was cut out, I think they were 2-inch strips, folded them in half and ironed them down, and then opened it up, folded each edge to that middle fold, and then stitched it down on the outside as a top stitch, and then stitched them to the inside of the front and the back. And that was the completion of her dress. I know I got a couple of pictures of her in it and her twirling really quick, but I don't know how that footage turned out. But the dress itself is so cute. I love how I was able to like make it adjustable too, because she's in the middle of growing still, and growing up top and growing lengthwise, and this will last her quite a while because this has a lot more stretch room, plus with the length she has some wiggle room, so it's not something that I made and then she's going to grow out of it and only get to wear it a couple of times. So I'm really excited about that. She did wear it for Easter, and she said it was very, very comfortable and was very, very happy with it. So, very quick. This was probably one of the quickest dresses I've made in a while, and I am very happy with it. So, anyway, yay, it's so pretty, and I only used like half of this, so I have some more of it to do something else, and I also have like 2 different pastel colors, so I don't know. It's just really fun to see this, and she's been begging for more dresses, so I don't know that I want to make her a whole bunch of the exact same, but I might have fun with some stuff and see what I can come up with for her. Anyway, so thank you very much for joining me for this fun little quick Easter project that I desperately needed for mental health reasons. So I'd love to hear your thoughts, and I'd love for you to like and subscribe if you want to stick around and see some of the other projects. I know this wasn't in my initial lineup. There probably will be a few more of those scattered in, but I think the next video is going to go back to my original lineup of spring projects that I wanted to work on. But I'm very happy I was able to get this done for my daughter in time for Easter, because she was very, very happy. I hope to see you in the next video.